Boom, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Nolan Hawkeye Anthony YouTube channel. And I thank all of you for being here wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. I just wanted to do a quick update. The most recent video that I dropped, I did a football recruitment update for the 2026 class, including the transfer portal. I did a Iowa basketball update as far as their roster and the transfer portal goes. But literally, and I went over who is expected to visit on the official visit, main official visit weekend, and some of the other weekends, and who has already officially visited the Iowa Hawkeyes. And the day after, Iowa receives a huge commitment out of the state of Illinois in Gene Riordan out of Hinsdale Central in Hinsdale, Illinois. And this is a huge get. And this is just how it works sometimes, but it's like, man, couldn't this have happened literally the day that I did the video? But it is what it is. So this is going to be a quick video. I'm just going to touch upon a few things. So this kid is highly rated. He had a bunch of schools after him. On3, which is my top rating service at this point, has him graded as a top 75 recruit. He is ranked 67th in the nation, and they give him a grade of a 93. When all is said and done, that grade will get higher. I've told you guys this time and time again, but the rating system, it goes up for most recruits as time goes on, because theoretically a player is better in their senior year than their junior year or their sophomore year. He's graded as an 88, a 78, and a 5.7 by the other recruiting services. 247 Sports has him as an 88. I think that's going to go up. This is a really big get. And the main storyline here, I think, is a few things. Number one, the continued success of the Iowa offensive overhaul. Now, we have seen Iowa recruit the offensive line as far as rankings and stars and all of that stuff goes before. That's not new. But you couple it with the quarterback success, with the revamping of the wide receiver room. Iowa did well with the tight end group last year. We'll see what happens this year. And there's a lot to be optimistic about. We still need to see what happens on the field, but there's a lot to be optimistic about. The only position group that I would say hasn't seen like an immediate uptick has been the running back room. It'll be interesting to see how that continues to develop. But I would say the biggest storyline is the recruiting efforts of George Barnett. There's still a long ways to go in securing these recruits for signing day. Anything's possible. For example, we just saw Joey Van Wessinga. Yes, his brother Rusty decided to transfer, but still, Iowa's still a solid offensive line school. For him to hit the transfer portal before he even is on campus for a full year is kind of crazy. Point is, anything's possible. So there's still a lot of time left to get all of this squared away. But if everything holds pat, this is going to be the best offensive line recruiting haul in years. From a ratings perspective, again, we've seen good hauls. Most recently the Trevor Locke, Leighton Jones. That was a good recruiting class. Even a few years before that, there was the David Davidkoff, but he ended recruiting class. He ended up getting injured. So time will tell how they do in actuality on the field. But as far as like ratings go and all of that, this is, I would say, by far and away the best recruiting class from an offensive line group that we've seen. We have multiple 4 stars, high 3 stars. You know, Hudson Parliament is a 4-star, high 3-star. Carson Nielsen out of the state of Iowa is a 4-star consensus. Most recently, Gene Riordan, high 3-star, 4-star by On3, top 100 recruit. There's Owen Linder, who's a 4-star by On3, high 3-star by the rest. And then, of course, there's Iowa City native Colin Winters, who is a high 3-star. So just a really good recruiting class. And just to put a bow on this, Iowa's 2026 recruiting class is off to a superb start. And they are well on track to finish as a top 25 recruiting class. On3 utilizes a weighted service or ranking system, which means that in any point in the calendar year, they use an average of, for example, just as case in point, they use an average of 12 recruits for every team, rather than the other recruiting services who just add up all the points. And some teams early in the process have 20 commits and other teams only have 7. But, you know, the team that has 7 commits has, 4 4-stars, 1 5-star, but they're still not as high because they don't have their full recruiting class done. So right now, it literally says this: average number of commits used in the ranking score is 6. Okay. And Iowa is above that. So that means that they're going to use the average score of Iowa's top 6 recruits. Iowa has 9. They are 17th right now in the team rankings with an average of an 89.072, which would be the highest in a long, long time. But that's going to change as time goes on and more recruits are used in the average. But their average rating is 87.89, which means that is the average ranking of all the recruits on in this class currently. So things are looking good. I just wanted to do a quick update on that. Gene Riordan is a really good get for Iowa. He's projected on the interior of the offensive line. He's filled out really well. Hats off to George Barnett. He's been a really solid recruiter since he's gotten to Iowa. And, this is just great news. There's a lot to be excited about when it comes to Iowa sports with, the Iowa offensive line or the Iowa offensive overhaul with Tim Lester. Time will tell how that transpires. But we've got some good early signs. And then, of course, with Iowa men's basketball, with Ben McCullum and the newness of it all, you have Iowa baseball, Iowa softball doing well. Iowa wrestling fell a little short, but they're rebuilding. And then, of course, Iowa women's basketball is continuing to try and hold on to the momentum that they had with Caitlin Clark. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Just one last thing. The offers that Gene Riordan had included Oklahoma, Auburn, Penn State, Louisville, Minnesota. Give me uno momento. Let's get all teams here. Okay. Kansas, Iowa State, Boston College, Georgia Tech, West Virginia, NC State, Northwestern, Virginia, Kansas State, and Notre Dame, Wisconsin, and Duke. We're looking at him as well. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. At the very least, like, comment. That's the free and easy way that you guys can show support for the channel. I will see you guys next time. DBAT, don't be a pussy willow, and facts are feelings because your feelings just don't matter. Love you guys. See you guys next time. Go Hawks. Bye-bye.